JH6 and I appreciate you guys watching. So if you have not been watching the news, the US just started a large airstrike campaign against ISIS in the country of Syria. Now, I got asked this question, and we have talked about this many times here on the channel. And pretty much the question is, if we are at war with ISIS, or potentially be at war with countries like Syria, and I gotta tell you guys, I definitely think that we are at war. For many years. I mean, it started back in 2001 when we got attacked here in the United States, and it has not stopped. And one thing that I think is kind of confusing, and I think it's actually confusing the American people, is the fact that as we're listening to this administration and this government here in the U.S., we continue to hear that we are not going to put boots on the ground. We are not going to put soldiers. We are not going to put Marines. We're not going to put any type of military on the ground to conduct, ground operations. Pretty much to seek out and destroy the enemy. So again, guys, I don't think that just the fact that we're not putting boots on the ground means that we are not technically at war with these people. I definitely think we are. The fact that we're conducting airstrikes against this country could potentially put us at war with Syria and many other countries. Gotta tell you guys, airstrikes could definitely bring positive, because we may have the capability to destroy ISIS and destroy resources, destroy leadership. If by any chance the airstrike kills the top head leadership guys, the group could pretty much get not terminated, because somebody's going to step up, but could have some issues. So airstrikes could definitely bring a lot of positive, but can also bring a lot of negatives as well. You got to think about this. Airstrikes could kill a lot of civilians, and the fact that a civilian could get killed could potentially create a terrorist. And a lot of times you see family members that lose the wife, lose the sisters, families, or whatever family member, and they actually become a terrorist because now they hate the United States because of whatever airstrike they lost family members. So definitely an airstrike could bring a lot of positives to destroying ISIS, but can also bring a lot of negatives as well. So we got to keep that in mind and not think that an airstrike is just going to be all good. So definitely one of the things that I continue to hear is that we're not going to put boots on the ground. So we're not technically at war. And I definitely think that we are. The fact that we're starting airstrikes is definitely, it tells me that we are at war. Now, one thing that I got to tell you guys, and a lot of guys don't see this, but these terrorist groups already have declared war on us. You go back to 2001 when we got attacked. We go back to 1998 when Bin Laden gave religious orders, I think they called fatahs, and gave religious orders to all Muslims to kill all the unbelievers. So you got religious or radical terrorist groups that have given the orders to the soldiers or to their followers to kill all unbelievers, and not only to kill the guys that are not Muslims, but also to kill the Muslims that do not agree with their belief. If you're a Muslim and you don't think it's your duty to kill the unbelievers, then you actually become you become just like a Christian. They have the duty to kill you as well. So that is definitely pretty scary. That is something that they already declared war on us. So we are definitely at war against ISIS, and not against ISIS, against Al Qaeda and against any other terrorist groups out there that want to cause, want to destroy the American society, American communities, and things like that. Here's something else that I've been thinking too, guys, and a lot of guys are saying, well, you got ISIS all the way up there in the other side of the world, and we got to think about this. This group has the capability and has the ways to conduct a terrorist attack in this country. They're reporting over 100 Americans, fighting with ISIS. I mean, these guys could potentially say, hey, you know what? I'm done fighting. Come back to the United States and commit some type of terrorist attack. These guys could potentially get a task or an assignment to come back to the U.S. and plan some type of attack to the U.S. So, I mean, what I'm trying to say here is that these guys have a very good chance to come back in the United States with barely any issues and could potentially conduct some type of terrorist attack in this country. So the fact that some people are saying that, you know, ISIS is not going to come inside the United States or are not going to be able to conduct an attack is completely ridiculous. They do have the capability and they do have the intent to do it. They just have to get the opportunity to actually conduct an attack. So definitely this over 100 Americans are definitely a threat to the United States and could potentially commit some type of terrorist attack if given that task by the leadership. Now you got another issue too. There's a lot of terrorist groups here, domestic terrorist groups that would do pretty much anything to impress this guy. I mean, this type of groups could conduct a terrorist attack just to impress ISIS and kind of get their approval in some kind of way. And we've seen this in the past where radical believers have planned, and I know in a situation where they plan an attack against a military installation, and they weren't able to carry on their attack, but the whole time and the whole planning and the whole reason why they were going to do this attack and potentially kill a bunch of soldiers was to impress Al-Qaeda. So, I mean, these guys didn't really even have a relationship with these terrorist groups, but they were looking to commit an attack just to impress them. So definitely we got groups like that here in the United States that could potentially carry on some type of attack against this country. So I got to tell you guys, do I think that we are at war? Yes, we are definitely at war with these terrorist groups. We definitely gotta watch our six. We definitely need to be ready. Do I think these guys are gonna come to the United States and invade us and take over? Definitely not. That's not gonna happen. But can they potentially conduct a terrorist attack against this country? Yes. So we definitely need to be alert. We definitely need to continue applying situational awareness. And if you see something that is not, you know, that kind of makes you think, just report it. There's a lot of, you know, FBI, the local police. There's a lot of groups out there that you could call and report suspicious activity. So if you see something that is very, very suspicious, I'm not saying to go up there and harass people, but if you see something that you think is suspicious, report it to the proper law enforcement section or law enforcement department. Let them know what you see. Go ahead and write down a description. Just don't call and be like, hey, I saw this. You know, actually write down a description. If you think it's a car suspicious, write down the description of the car, the license plate, as much information as you can, and pass it on to those groups. Because I got to tell you guys, you never know when you're going to be able to stop a terrorist attack. So with that being said, definitely think that we are at war. We need to keep our eyes open. We need to watch our six. If you like videos like this, click like. I always appreciate when you subscribe and share my videos. And as I always say, God is in control.